license, car repoed by the bank, searching for honest work, or as close to honest as he could get. "Hurry, boys." Colonel Lukather was early 50s, lean and trim, with her long blonde hair pinned up in a military style. She gave an impatient roll of her hand. "I'm waiting for you." Will had to duck his head to stand. The drop ceiling was 18 inches lower than it should have been. The dark paneled walls had buckled with age. Locked filing cabinets lined one side of the room. The colonel's regulation metal desk was shoved against the other side. There were no windows. The air didn't move. He could have been standing inside of a coffin. Colonel Lukather pointed up at the low ceiling, explaining, "Brig Jen upstairs wanted a shower in his office. Shit rolls downhill. I don't need a skylight, Wolf. Sit." Will took one of the chairs across from her. Baldani remained standing about 2 inches from Will's shoulder, another good guy, bad guy trick. Lukather said, "Wolf, you've been in some trouble since you FTA'd. Will didn't hear a question, so he didn't give an answer. Lukather rested her hand on his file, waiting for the ensuing silence to wear him down. Will didn't wear. The clock on the wall gave a sharp tuck. Baldani let out a long smoker's wheeze of a sigh. "Dave, looks like we've got ourselves a genuine Captain Jack here." Lukather opened the file and pretended to read the information for the first time. "Stationed in BFE, 5th in your class at John Wayne School, stacked up your chest candy in the sandbox, earned your triple threat. Quite the gung-ho mofo. You certainly win the big dick contest in the room." Will hadn't had time to study any army jargon, so he was clueless, except for the last bit, which seemed accurate. Then a page was turned in the file. Lukather's finger trailed down Jack Wolf's background check. 2 DUIs, bad divorce, bad credit. What makes you think I should pay you $15 an hour and put you up in one of my hotels for the privilege of working on my base for the next few days?" Will shrugged with one shoulder in the same eat-shit way perps did when he was interrogating them. "Up to you." Baldani shifted on his feet, clearly annoyed. Lukather looked up from the paperwork. Maybe she gave Will credit for honesty, because she didn't tell him to get the hell out of her office. "Do you know what the job is?" "Janitorial?" Will shrugged again, solely to piss off Baldani. "The posting mentioned something about cleaning." She said, "Not your usual butts and elbows. What do you know about gold?" Another shrug. "I could use some." "All right, shitbrain." Baldani had reached his limit. "Check the attitude. You're talking to a full-bird colonel." Will turned his chin 2 degrees, ignoring him, but not ignoring him. Baldani's fists clenched, which was stupid because the minute he raised his arms, Will could punch the guy's nutsack into his asshole. "That's enough, boys." Lukather closed Jack Wolf's file. The employment decision had been made, but she didn't choose to share it. Instead, she told Will, "Gold is a naturally occurring chemical element with the atomic number 79. It is classed as a soft metal, so it can easily be scratched or damaged. The oil on your hands can corrode or tarnish the finish, diminishing the value. When handling, it's recommended that you wear lint-free cotton gloves. Masks are required because the moisture from your breath or saliva can leave spots that can't be removed." Will waited for the rest of the speech. "Executive Order 6102, issued by President Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1933, outlawed the private ownership of gold coins, bullion, and gold certificates, which forced citizens to sell those items to the Federal Reserve. In 1936, the Treasury Department began construction of the Gold Vault, eventually transferring via a heavily armored train convoy the majority of the gold reserves to our facility. We currently have deep stored in sealed vaults north of 147.3 million troy ounces, primarily in the form of 12.4 kilogram gold bars that range from 0.900 to 0.999 purity. The rest of the nation's reserve is held by West Point and Denver.